Namaste, angels. This is the weekly love reading for the period of today, March 1st, Sunday, March 1st, through Saturday to come, March 7th. We're going to get right into it. Just want to mention on the 4th this week, Mercury, which is currently retrograde and located in Pisces, moves from Pisces into Aquarius. And Venus, the ruler of the signs of Libra and Taurus, and also the esoteric ruler of the sign of Gemini, moves into Taurus, where it will be at home, of course, in a very special placement. I talk about what both of those transits mean in the general reading. Do check it out. If you're not yet a subscriber, please consider becoming one by hitting both the subscribe button and the bell button. Do like, share, comment, all of the above. I do appreciate it. It is unfortunately how YouTube, measures and decides whether or not to show one's videos and stuff like that. Although I don't like it at all. To me, it's like to have to do a bunch of bells and whistles sort of takes away from the fact that I'm a genuine psychic. Like I'm a clown. I'm here to entertain people, not a queen, which is not the case. I am a queen. So I don't really like it, but I do appreciate it because it is what it is. That is my reality, or the reality of the situation, how YouTube works. All right, let's get into the dice. Beginning with 29, right? 29, spiritual partnership. It's 50-50. So in that spiritual partnership, we need balance. We need give and take. We both got to contribute. One person can't carry it. Lastly, romantic dinner. It's still 50-50. So balance, very important this week. Again, give and take, very important. Equity, equality, and both people, contributing to the relationship, putting their energy forward, and not one person feeling burdened or burdensome, upon or by the other. Also, spend money. And again, romantic dinner. So maybe you make plans and, you're not guided to break the bank and to because again, balance is important. So you don't want to spend more than you can afford to spend, but, nurture yourself and your relationship. Go out to dinner, take some time off of work or whatever the case is. And, give some time to your connections. I have a couple of decks here, 4 decks to be exact. Beginning with the Universal Love Oracle, I'm starting with a card called Answered Prayer. It is very Aquarius to me. Aquarius and water. So it's very Aquarius and very, we could say Pisces. Really more so Scorpio, if I'm going to be honest, though. And this may be showing up because of that Mercury in Aquarius transit. So why does it represent Aquarius to me? Well, you can see all the blue and white. So the white is indicative of air. And then we have the blue, which is the water. The butterfly over the stomach for me is very, very Scorpio. And the star, very strategically located over the throat chakra, which came up specifically for the masculine, the throat chakra in the general reading, is representative of Aquarius for me. Also, the star in the tarot, which represents the sign of Aquarius, is all about answered prayer, right? Prayers being answered, wishes being granted, and dreams coming true, in addition to communication. So we got that. And what might that prayer have been about? Perhaps forgiveness, either, our seeking forgiveness or our being forgiven by someone else, or both. Forgiving ourselves as well. Kuan Yin showing up, also up right behind that. Transmutation. So it's possible that the way that we got to this, the ability to forgive, is through taking our negative emotions and transmuting them to love. Letting go of things like the inability to forgive, regret, resentment, ego, envy, jealousy, blame, guilt, and transmuting those things to love instead helps us to ascend, frees us from, these self-imposed blocks that negative emotions and cords of attachment cause. And releases our blessings, right? Because those blocks, they block our blessings, like pretty much literally. But transmuting things to love releases those blessings up to, inclusive of, tantric union, which is something so much higher than physical union. I mean, it can include physical union, but this is, telepathy. This is, I feel you in me, on me, around me. I hear you. Your touch is, electric. You feel the same way about mine. That's what this is. And there can be heightened things like telepathy, connections, signs, synchronicities, even with people with whom we're not in contact. Also up right behind that, the gateway. So all of this ascension likely leading us to the next phase, right? When you complete, there's like a karmic completion. You learn some lesson and you clear it away. You enter to the next phase. It's like leveling up. So that's the gateway. All heading toward, and where we end, the last upright card, toward the trilogy of light, where we become one with the universe of God. All right, put these back. Got the animal and angel tarots combined here with those, beginning with an overall energy of the Prince of Winter or the Knight of Swords. Could be representative of Venus herself, again moving into Taurus, but she is, she also rules 2 air signs, Libra and Gemini. So it could be her, it could be Mercury, again moving into Aquarius, or it could be representative of a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, perhaps that's significant to you in your life, and or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion, and to make your decisions quickly. The Knight of Swords or Prince of Winter tends to show up, in my opinion, the way that I pick up the energy when one has a decision to make or is awaiting a decision. Angel therapy cards, God box. Write any worries, concerns, or desires on a piece of paper that you put into a special container called a God box as a way of letting go and allowing the divine to help you. So maybe somebody writes down guilt, the inability to forgive, regret, resentment, those things, and that's how they transmute them to love. That's a possibility. If you need to do this, then do it, if that would be helpful to you. And lastly, from the romance angels, pay attention to the red flags. The signs are cautioning you. You may see some red flags to turn up, but in terms of red and fiery energy, I can think of, off the top of my head, Mars, the red planet, the masculine planet of love, ruler of the signs of Aries and Scorpio, is in Capricorn, has recently moved into Capricorn. So that may be it. Also, we could be seeing, again, the signs of synchronicities through this energy of tantric union. And perhaps connecting us to somebody from our past and or a past life. You've known each other before. And guess what? Further to that, they're not just anybody. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. So what are you asked to do? Give your relationship a chance. Work on your partnership. Some of you may be doing that coming from, this next card is upside down, so it doesn't really apply. You may be coming out of separation to do this. Maybe because of the forgiveness that you and or your partner or mate or person of interest are extending to one another. On that note, I'm going to begin with these here. Just take these out of the way temporarily. So we'll start with the spread from the perspective of the masculine. Beginning, of course, again with the divine feminine card. Then the masculine as it relates to the feminine, himself, and the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what energy the masculine would have the feminine give toward that union or connection in love this week, what he himself is willing to, what the universe would have each or both to give, and even wants to help us with, but we have to affirm, we have to basically call upon the universe to help us with this because we have free will. So we have to let it know that we want its help, we welcome its help, and the outcome. Interesting. Only 2 cards from the Animal Tarot there. All right, Divine Feminine. The 10 of Autumn. I think, did we have this last week too? I don't recall, but I think we may have. Contentment comes from knowing that your finances are secure and your family's material needs are taken care of. It's important to honor traditions and to have pride in your heritage and the accomplishments of your ancestors. So this is the feminine feeling, you know, happy to be surrounded by family. It could be feelings of security. She may have recently, you know, actually come into something that makes her feel safer, stronger, more confident. And that is represented by the 10 of Autumn, or she will during the period of this week. I think this will also be connected to the Venus in Taurus. Because it's very, look at it, it's like the mother and her kids. Right? Venus is like the mother energy. The masculine as it relates to the feminine. Very nice. It is Major Arcana card 0, the Dreamer, which is the Fool in the traditional tarot. And in this deck specifically has, from day one, from the time I got it, always felt like Mercury to me, and therefore represents for me the planet Mercury and the signs of Gemini and Virgo, which Mercury rules. A leap of faith. Follow your dreams. That leads to unexpected opportunities. So this is about walking a brand new path. And some masculine may have presented a feminine, or maybe will during this week, present the feminine with some sort of offer like that. Like, let's try something new, brand new path. And that could be what has her feeling so good and confident and secure as well. The masculine as it relates to himself specifically in all of this is the 3 of Earth. Very positive. 3 of Pentacles. So for me, this card is representative of abundance that is earned. 3s are about creativity too. So it could be co-creating, right? Working in collaboration as a group toward our abundance together. So this is very much about like a couple and love and moving towards something, building a relationship and what comes with it together, not just one person going on their own. Why? Because we're deserving, we're worthy. Very nice. The power of creativity, recognition for very high quality work. Be a team player. And the masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole, the King of Air. So this is probably, again, Mercury. Or Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. The King of Air, as it relates to love or anything really, is very no nonsense, very to the point. He says what he means what he says. He tries to be fair and diplomatic, but it's in some ways he's also sort of stubborn and set in his ways. And not easily changed, and you shouldn't try to change him. If you're in a relationship with the King of Air and you feel like you need to change him, you probably should just not be in a relationship with the King of Air. You need to accept him how he is. He's brilliant, impartial, professional, and diplomatic. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice and balance mental and emotional considerations. So this is having, you know, your logical and analytical side sort of in balance and working in tandem with your emotions and your sensitivities, which can be difficult for an air sign. Overall, Major Arcana card 5, Unity, or the Hierophant, which represents the sign of Taurus. So I told you I was feeling very much that this was sort of the Venus and Taurus connection coming through, and even the masculine's card here. And then here we have the Taurus energy with the Hierophant. Embrace this time of deep spiritual growth. You may feel called to act as a mentor, to find a new teacher, or to spend time with others who are also on a sacred path. In terms of love, and in general, really, the Hierophant is about tradition. So this could be like in keeping with tradition. I'm going to be this very manly, masculine man. And you can feel protected and soft, like I got you. I am a provider. That may be the type of situation with which some of us are confronted this week. Even if you're meeting somebody for the first time, it could be that type of person who is going to, take care of you. Not saying that you're helpless, a little female that is helpless, but in the sense of, I got you. I got you. I got your back. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to carry yourself. And I don't mean again, financially necessarily. I'm talking about emotionally, spiritually even. There is support by this other partner. I was feeling something about that 3 for a second. Of course, this is not what I was feeling, but I might as well go ahead and mention it. Of course, threes, when they show up in the tarot, are often about, some sort of what I call parties of three, involving other people and or energies. Not necessarily anything like a love triangle, but that's always a possibility, although I don't get that from this. Some may be asked to or presented with a commitment or asked to enter a commitment up to and including even marriage this week. And that can be what has us feeling so secure and loved and content. What the masculine would have the feminine give to the union situation this week, and it is more this earth energy. Let's make some plans. Let's make some plans. Let's decide some goals, right? Collaborate on some goals and dreams. What do we want? What are we going to try to build? The Knight of Earth or Knight of Pentacles. He is loyal, dedicated, honorable, and kind. And yes, a Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Let's do this. Honor your commitments, which is also very, traditional. Honor, right? Just loyalty. Some people think of things of the past because we've gotten a few things skewed in the modern times. Also, we're reminded we have a guardian angel. So again, you're not alone. You don't have to go it alone, what I was saying. This is a message to the feminine. You do not have to go it alone. What the masculine himself is willing, what energy he's willing to give to the union connection this week. It is the Eight of Water, a desire to move on. Maybe moving on from, again, the inability to forgive. Let's move on from our past, move on from when things weren't working. Or if we're single, it could be the masculine on his own. He's single, but I'm going to move on from my past as an individual. I'm ready to grow. I'm ready to do new things. Where this does represent another person, it could be moving on from one relationship, readying himself for something new in the future. Again, that better aligns with his, soul's purpose and his energetic vibration with the Hierophant. For me, this card is not just about commitments and contracts, but about the people, places, and things with which we surround ourselves. And a need to make adjustments sometimes because we need to, those energies need to be of our vibration, a similar vibration to our own or higher, from which we can learn, right? So he's ready to move on. He's on a search for something more meaningful. Bring me a higher love, that song. Spiritual and emotional growth as well. What the universe would have each or both contribute to the union, what kind of energy, and what the universe, again, wants to help us with. But we have to first affirm because we have free will. So we don't have to accept its help. What does it want to do for us? It wants to give us strength in partnerships. It wants to strengthen our partnerships. It wants to remind us that we can face, and we have the ability, the wherewithal, to face any and everything that comes our way. And to come out on top of it. The Strength card in any area of your life that it touches, can say, I could be doing a financial reading and the Strength card could come up. It's a tremendous, blessed energy, right? Super good omen in every area, including love. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. Major Arcana card Strength represents the sign of Leo. There's your red flag, or at least the first of our red flags, right? This is a sign. and the outcome. The Two of Earth. Too much going on at once. There's a need to make a decision. Consider a more playful approach. So again, we ended up with this energy of balance. I talked before I laid the cards about the need for balance and 50-50. That's very much what the Two of Earth represents. Of course, two is also about partnership. They are also about faith. So this leap of faith that we're guided to take, important. Also, I talked about making time for our relationships to nurture them. Making time for ourselves if we are single, but we've, in the past, we've dived into our work and not left much time to be social or, to have relationships. That's something we got to work on. We need balance as individuals. If we're, at a crossroad where we're finding we're not seeing enough of each other or, communicating enough with each other, if we're partnered, if we're committed, then we need to find balance in our relationship too. And maybe be more social. Go out to that dinner, spend money, right? And have a romantic dinner and some cocktails and get reacquainted with your partner. Also, there could be some sort of decision to make. I said they could even be offers of marriage or whatever. So maybe the decision is yes or no. It's an earthly decision or a decision about earthly matters. It could be about moving in together, cohabitation. Again, we're going to collaborate. We're going to pool our money with all this earth that's popping up. I will pull the next upright card just for fun to see if it gives us any clarity, further clarity for this Two of Earth. And the next upright card is this one right here. This is the Ace of Fire. So again, some sort of blessed new opportunity. This too can be about moving into each other. Wands or fire is an element of movement, and the Ace of Fire in particular can be about travel, new travel opportunities, new work opportunities. Obviously, the Three of Earth can have to do with meeting somebody at work, so that could be what happens in terms of your love life, or while you're on business travel, or this can be an opportunity for us to travel together. Maybe even moving together, moving into a new home, or moving forward in a metaphorical sense. In term, again, all the way up to and including 3D marriage, an exciting new opportunity, career advancement, change your life now. Boom. Now I will just take these. I'm going to use the same decks. I'm just very arbitrarily sticking them wherever, these cards. There's no science to it. No, sleight of hand or anything. Then just to make sure, we're going to do this. All right, does that look like they got mixed up real good? And now we're beginning with the King of Spring for the next spread, the King of Wands. He's inspiring, dramatic, ambitious, and wise, and another red flag, potentially. The King of Spring could be representative of the planet Mars itself, again, which is currently located in Capricorn, guiding us to finish what we've started. So in terms of love, finish what you started. There was a song I was listening to the other day, and I was driving, and it made me think about, it was Let's Get Married by Jagged Edge. Let's finish something that we started so long ago. Never knew we'd make it so far. So it could be, again, about for some of us, an ex that's returning or something. Or some others, maybe we met recently, but we've had this sort of stop and go energy between us, and we never really, put the effort in, that 50-50 and got it right. Now's an opportunity. Or even those who are already committed, but we've gotten sort of stuck and comfortable in our ways, and we need to take the next step also, which was actually the case in the song. The song after the next line is like, girl, let's just get married. So, obviously that's somebody that's already together. Now's your moment to step up into a leadership role. Don't back away from the spotlight, as your plans will be successful as long as you stay focused upon the big picture. The King of Spring or Wands is a Leo, like the Strength card, Sagittarius or an Aries, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Also, the quintessential divine masculine of the tarot. The King of Spring represents the divine masculine. So again, this can be him saying, like, I got you. I'm going to take on a leadership role. I'm here to, provide and love and care for and all of that. Divine being or couple, because we're single, we're coupled, we're in separation, it's complicated, whatever applies to you. Recent past. Near future. Masculine's higher self. Blocks the individual or shared progress. What the feminine rather can do to help herself with those blocks. What the masculine can. What the universe would have each or both of us do to help ourselves, and even wants to help us with. But again, we have to first affirm, because we have free will. And the outcome. Overall energy, the King of Wands. Divine being or couple. It is Major Arcana card Strength. Boom. Y'all saw me shuffle. Great inner strength. Release harsh judgments. Instead, exercise some forgiveness and compassion. So that is like our first priority this week. Forgiveness. That may be, again, of yourself. Or sometimes I said we have to accept the apologies we're never going to get. Some people are never going to return to our lives. They're never going to say sorry for the way they hurt us, or the way they treated us, or mistreated us, or whatever it is. And we have to accept the apologies we're never going to get. Why? Because it helps us to move on. It helps us to grow. It helps us to free ourselves from those negative emotions and cords of attachment. It helps us to transmute those feelings to love. So it's not for them, it's for us that we do it. Recent past. The Ace of Fire. I'm so glad I shuffled it and got it in front of y'all. Near future. Now, some of you might say, I didn't experience the Ace of Fire yet. Again, when it comes up in this recent past position, it can mean for some early on during the period, right? So like this reading is for the week. Early on in the week, you could experience the Ace of Fire. And then near future, soon after, boom. The King of Water. I love it. Trustworthy, compassionate, respected, and cultured. Open your heart and mind to those around you. Trustworthy and heartfelt advice. And charity work. Charity work for me is unconditional love, because when you give, without agenda, just freely out of love, that's unconditional love, even if it's given to a stranger. So what could happen, what this Ace of Fire could represent in recent past, is just even an energy that allows for us to maybe forgive. So it could be attached to the Strength card. Then our hearts are open, right? That heart chakra has been cleared. And that frees us up for love, for the energy of the King of Water. That's a possibility. So you may not see an actual event happening in your life, but it can be just a shift in the energy, or shift from within, and within your spirit body, that allows for your heart to be open again. Masculine higher self. Oh, the King of Water, by the way, is a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. He is a very balanced energy in terms of his emotions and, his thinking mind, his logical mind, his analytical mind. He has his emotions in check. He's very in touch with them. He knows that he has them. He's not ashamed of them. He shows them, but at the same time, he's got it together. He's still like this very strong masculine energy. Right? So it's without being in touch with his emotions, but not to the point that this is a feminine energy. It's a masculine energy. Masculine's higher self. The Queen of Air. Independent, experienced, realistic, and witty. Objective decision making. Clearing away all that no longer serves you and seeing the humor in a situation. The Queen of Air is a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. Could be Venus herself, could be Mercury himself. They could be representative of an actual woman or feminine energy, and maybe even more specifically, air sign, direct air sign, on the mind of the masculine, who may be represented by a water sign, or vice versa. So in other words, there could be some, of course, this is open to any and everybody, but specifically there could be some heightened activity between air signs and water signs. Or this could be the masculine being very Queen of Air-like in that he is, again, making those adjustments to the people, places, and things with which he surrounds himself to better match his own energy, right? To like he'd be open to meeting his match on a energetic, vibrational level. Blocks to individual or shared progress. The Lovers. Major Arcana card 6, the Lovers. True and long-lasting love finds its way into your life. Follow your heart with caring actions and choices. Major Arcana card, the Lovers, also represents the planet Mercury and the sign of Gemini, which it rules. So this can be taken a couple ways. The first way can be like, it's a block because Mercury right now is potentially a block because it's in retrograde. So that's that one thing. And it can be also that we, again, hadn't had our hearts open to this kind of love. We had, been blocked off to this kind of love. But with this shift, that can change everything and make us open. More specifically for some, I already said, it can be not only a female, but an air sign, female and or feminine energy on the mind of the masculine. She may be specifically a Gemini. For earth signs, I happen to do the earth sign readings this weekend, and I saw a lot of earth on earth heightened activity for them. So this is the block. What the feminine can do to help herself in terms of the block. It is Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel. So suddenly, again, there's a sudden shift in her energy that is going to be what helps her. Things turn around very quickly, all of a sudden, almost out of nowhere. Maybe when Mercury goes direct. Maybe when Mercury enters Aquarius. That could shift her from the Pisces, to the Aquarius, might be the change that she needs. But this is indicative of a sudden shift, a sudden change. And it's another red flag. Major Arcana card 10, the Wheel, represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. It is also connected to the fixed signs, which would be Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and yes, Taurus. Expect a sudden positive change in your life. You can now move forward and make great progress. Great progress where and how? With this opportunity for true and long-lasting love. What the masculine can do to help himself. Wow. It is Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies all at once through determination and focus. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. Remember the card that represented the masculine in the other spread? It was the 3 of Pentacles. What did I say? It is about abundance that is earned, of which you are deserving. That's the same thing this is saying. Boom. All right, Major Arcana card 7, the Chariot, represents the sign of Cancer, most specifically. It is about movement or moving, whether literal or metaphoric. Just like his 8 of Cups from the last spread. It is a major card of victory, too. So it's like overcoming where he had been stuck before, like making changes and stuff like that, overcoming things and people that were holding him back. What the universe would have us each or both do and even wants to help us with, but we have to first affirm because we have free will. The 9 of Spring. Universe wants you to stick it out. Don't give up. So this is about co-creation, maybe too, where we created something together. Let's continue to build it. Or where one has created something as an individual, where they've put their energy, something that you were really focused on, that you were trying to manifest. It hasn't come to pass yet. Don't give up. Energy can change, shift very, very quickly, seemingly out of nowhere. So don't give up. You've worked hard, and what you've created is impressive and worthy of protecting. Annoying challenges may pop up, but don't worry. You'll get through them just as you have in the past. And what else is this? Another red flag. So this is another sign, right? The signs are cautioning you. The red flag signs are cautioning you. They've cautioned us that a new beginning is to be ours. It can come very, very quickly. Even if some challenges come along with it, we have the strength to face them and to deal with them and to move past them. And even if it hasn't happened for us already and we feel like we've been working hard already, don't give up. Because again, things can change overnight. And the outcome. Wow. Isn't that crazy? The outcome. 3 of Winter. Sadness is a part of, even though I don't feel like this is present based on the other cards, I think that this is still relating to the past. I'm just surprised that it showed up in that position. Still. Sadness is a part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. So again, I think this is representative of the past hurt and pain. And for some of us, maybe where we're leaving a relationship alone, where we're cutting off people, it's connected to this air, right? This Queen of Air who's cutting stuff out of her life. There's mixed emotions about those things. Even, if it's a relationship, for example, where you're getting a divorce, you may be, 100% of the mind that you cannot be with this person anymore. That doesn't mean that there's not emotions that come up, that it's mixed feelings of, I'm still sorry it didn't work out. Like we gave it our best, go. It's still sad that it didn't work out. There's things like that. So I think that's what that's representing. But we will pull the next card for that as well. The next upright card, rather. So that is this one. Clarifying the 3 of Swords as the outcome. Yep. It is Major Arcana card 14, Balance, which is temperance. All about healing, right? Temperance is a super, super healing energy. So it shows up to restore us, to fix anything that we were lacking. Any place where we've, felt wounded, temperance shows up to heal those wounds. Also, where this 3 of Swords is representing, conflict, maybe with another person. And that can be what this is saying, to stick with it, right? Work it out. Even where it's representing conflict, this card, the reason there's a zebra on here is because it talks about like figuring out a way to work together or to come together despite our differences. So, if you're saying, well, no, I say it's black, well, I say it's white, we can come together and be striped or maybe gray or spotted. Like there's a way for both of us to like meet each other halfway. That's what this card balance is about. It's or temperance. Temperance also represents the planet Jupiter and the sign of Sagittarius, which it rules. By merging varying points of view, you can now generate an extraordinary new idea, compromise with others, and collaborate to discover a better solution. So this is about working things out one way or another. It doesn't mean you have to, remain in a relationship with somebody, but you can still even split amicably. Also, I was just getting something. I shouldn't have finished my sentence because I was just getting something about, this Three of Swords also possibly representing why there was, discord, or representing what the difference was. Like it's saying like we have problems or we have problems because of these differences, because you say it's black and I say it's white, or you're older and I'm younger, or you are black and I'm white, or whatever. And so this shows up again, even in those cases, to restore us, to let us know, no, we have the faith, we have the strength to deal with even those situations and to fix it. If we want, we can compromise, we can work it out, figure out a way to come together despite our differences. We have the strength to do it, to, again, strengthened partnerships. That's what the universe wants to help us with from the last spread. And boom. So, I wanted to give us a card from each deck there. Also, these two cards come, it's for, I'm going to say a lot of whom to which this applies, you having to work something out or to compromise to reach a solution. It's the masculine specifically who's dealing with this energy, and that he is being sort of congratulated here for having successfully done that. So he may have grown and had some sort of emotional growth again, perhaps indicated by that Eight of Cups from the last spread, showing there's a spiritual growth, there's an emotional growth, there's a maturity here. And now so much so that he doesn't care anymore about the differences. Maybe it was his hang up before that, you were black and he was white. Or his hang up that, he was younger than a female, or whatever the case is. And he's beyond it now. So that's part of his success that the Chariot represents. All right, further to that, to the masculine from the romance angels, finance and career. That could be another difference too. Maybe the feminine has more money or had more money. And so that was a reason to break up, or, but it's not anymore. Like also, I'm going to connect this to that first card from the last spread and the feelings of being secure and, masculine wanting to provide. Those energies that came up could be how the financial issues are a factor in our love life right now as well. Finance and career. The career could show up because, again, we could meet somebody at work and or traveling for, for business, or maybe we need to relocate because of work, and that's how we're going to cohabitate. Also playfulness for the feminine. To recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. To where it was lost, again, getting out, being social, finding the spark again, finding time for each other, nurturing your relationships, cocktails, dinner. For the masculine, healing sounds. So this is meditation. It can be healing sounds, or this could be the healing sounds that you need to speak or that you need to hear yourself. Maybe connected to whatever this problem was, like, I'm sorry, I forgive you, I love you, marry me, whatever the case is. Those could be heal. All of those are healing sounds, right? They make the person on the receiving end feel real good. Or more traditionally, this can be about things like guided meditation, binaural tones, your favorite genre of music. Feminine, miracles. They happen. Look, remember our other card? This is practically like miracles too. The Wheel of Fortune. Something suddenly, all of a sudden, everything is positive where it hadn't been before. You can connect that to the energy of miracles. For the masculine, from the angel therapy cards. Heart chakra. What did I say? Boom. Okay. The answer that you seek is in your heart right now. Be open to giving and receiving love, just as I said in the very beginning of the reading. For the feminine, books. Your life purpose involves writing, reading, editing, or selling spiritually based books. Or perhaps writing something down and putting it in a God box. That can be what this is about too. Writing your feelings down or what you want to say, what you're trying to manifest. Masculine, from the Animal Tarot, your card is renewal. Judgment, which represents the sign of Scorpio and is about second time around, second chances. In this case, second chances at love, perhaps. It's time to get clarity about your life purpose and to make changes so that you're on the path most divinely suited to you. Forgive what has been. So here's this message about forgiveness again. Forgive what has been without judgment and fearlessly embrace what's to come. For the feminine, it is Major Arcana card 17, the Star. Prayers answered, wishes granted, dreams coming true. Also communication. You are about to take a leap of faith, a big leap forward with your life. Worry will be replaced with optimism, fear with hope, and joy is coming home to roost. I just want to say judgment also can be about coming to some sort of crossroad and deciding where do we go from here, if anywhere, right? Some people decide we're going to go all the way. That's another way that, another meaning for judgment as it relates to relationships. And lastly, for the masculine, from the Angel Tarot, it's the Three of Water or Three of Cups. Celebrations, a celebration, wedding, graduation, or a birth announcement, and the need to have more fun. Again, get out, be social. If you're single, get out, meet somebody. If you are coupled, spend some time with your mate, not just being in a rut, right? Enjoying each other. And lastly, for the feminine, decision, Two of Air, being unable or unwilling to make a decision, a stalemate, and pretending there's no problem. When this kind of decision comes up or when this card comes up, for me, it tends to be the reason we're having trouble making a decision is because we're trying to be people pleasers and we're worried about what other people will think about our decision. It can come right back to this. What are people going to think if my man is white? What are people going to think if my man is younger than me? What are people going to think if my man doesn't have as much money as I do? So what do I want to do? Can I figure out a way to compromise and to collaborate with him or not? So not only I was feeling like saying the masculine being successful here, but it looks like the feminine in some cases has that decision to make as well. I hope you guys have enjoyed the weekly love reading. I will be back very soon with more. Namaste.